Definitely something that you want to stick around for. Remember, flex pay, we do have that extended return policy, at least for today until 12 midnight. So, Mike, I got to tell you, there's been more hot off the press news in coin collecting this year than, would you say, any other period in history?
Oh, I don't think there's absolutely positively any doubt about that. It has been an exceptional year so far. We have a surprise coin, which is what this is that you're going to see right here, this incredible surprise. The Mint has so many things planned. The next release is going to be next week, the basketball coin from the Basketball Hall of Fame. And we're exclusively partnered with the Basketball Hall of Fame to be able to release that coin. We'll have all kinds of exclusive coins available for our show on June 16th. And, of course, check hsn.com prior to that so that you can have the first looks and first opportunity on those coins. But this is the coin right here that came out of nowhere. It has been, I don't think I'm overstating it when I'm saying it's been the most popularly collected coin, the fastest selling coin that we have ever had in the history of HSN Coin Show. And that's been 2 decades. It's everything for a collectible. First off, we have the price. And I'll come back to the price here in a minute. $199. Nobody else is selling Mint State 70s at $199. This is a one-time, one quantity only thing. There was 901 of these coins in the edition. I think we have already sold 200 before this is our original air date. Just people picking them off hsn.com. I'm assuming this will be the only presentation of this coin that we're ever going to be able to do. The only other 70s we have are $299, $329, and those are in NGC and or PCGS. So, price. Now, what is this coin? First of all, the 2020 American Silver Eagle has been the most popularly collected Silver Eagle in any given year. Okay, in any given year that the United States government has ever released. And the reason is they told us last year that they were going to change the design of the American Silver Eagle. They are changing the design for the very first time in the history of the American Silver Eagle. It is a huge deal. It is a monstrous deal. They had not changed it since 1986. This is the way it's looked, and this is the very last year. This is your very last opportunity to be able to get this design. So that in and of itself has made the 2020 the most incredibly collected Silver Eagle. The United States Mint is already 10, 20 million coins behind in production. But then, given current events, and if we can now, if you look at the letter that's next to the coin, that's the key to this. The United States Mint, because of current events, the coronavirus pandemic, had to shut down the West Point Mint, which is where they make the American Silver Eagle, Mint State Silver Eagle. They had to shut it down for 12 days. They had to shut it down for 12 days, folks. And in that, and then someone said, well, they made some at Philadelphia. So we did a Freedom of Information Act request. You can see right there, April 27th. And you have in this the United States Mint's answer. I'm going to read it real quickly, just parts of it. In light of the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, the United States Mint has temporarily reduced production in its facilities in order to reduce the risk of employee exposure to COVID-19. The health and safety of the Mint workforce remains our highest priority. Typically, the American Silver Eagle bullion coins are minted at West Point. However, due to the reduced production, as I said, from April 8th until the 20th, they produced 240,000 coins at Philadelphia. That's the key. Remember, they're going to make 100 million Silver Eagles this year. 240,000 of them, designated by the special box numbers that you see later on down in that paragraph, are going to be designated from Philadelphia. They don't have the Philadelphia Mint mark. They can only be designated by getting an entire box of 500 coins from the United States Mint and sending that box into the grading service, and then they grade them. Now, here's the problem with that. Notice also in that second paragraph that they say these coins were manually packed. Anytime you put your hands on a coin, the grade goes down. And there's a box. I think you're just grabbing that. The big green box,
Yep.
that's the way you have to buy it. It's sealed. There's only 480 of those.
Wow.
You had to send that into the grading company, and then they gave it a grade based on, from 60 to 70. There's one right there. That's box 400,261 that you see right there. And the boxes from Philadelphia were 400,000 to 400,479. Okay?
Wow.
They had to go sealed to the grading company, and then they have to be certified. Because they were manually packed, the Mint State 70 coins are almost impossible to find. Mint State 69 coins, and we have a lot of those, and they're incredibly, phenomenally popular, but the Mint State 70 coins are the creme de la creme. Remember, there's only 240,000 total. Mint State 70, there's going to be well less than half the coins, probably close to a third of the coins is what we're looking at. Now, that letter that you see there, you're going to get a copy of that with your coin. So we're going to send that in to you, and we're going to give you that letter as well so that you have a reference point for what your coins mean. So what we have here is there's 4 major grading companies, PCGS, NGC, ICG, and Annex. Our Annex first day of issue, 1,329 coins completely and totally sold out. I have no more. NGC coins, I might have, we had 800 NGC coins. I might have 20 or 30 left. I have a few PCGS coins that will be in the next hour. This is the first time I've sold this, and we've already sold 25% of the quantity. And this one is $100 less in Mint State 70 than anything you find out there in the marketplace. This is one of the great, rarest, most timely collectibles that has ever been put out by the United States Mint, and in essence, they did it accidentally.
They did. Hey, Mike, just a quick quantity update and a couple of reference points here. The last time that I had a show with Mike, we were on, I want to say it was like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. It was like
it was a Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday. It was like a midweek. And just as a reference point, when we were talking about this whole emergency issue event, if you will, because this is a legacy coin, it's a historic coin, whether you're a coin collector or not. This is owning a piece of history. Certainly, they're calling it the COVID generation, the COVID kids. I mean, certainly, I think of, grandparents and people who lived through the Depression. Let's be honest, this is something that globally the world will not forget. So this is an opportunity to own a piece of history. But as a reference point, Mike, when we did that show on a random Tuesday, in prime time, we had a lot more emergency issue coin quantity available. So I don't know the situation. I know this is new. I know this is a first airing. I know we've got it on FlexPay, which is really outrageous to me. You got the letter, you've got that great sealed holder, and the the presentation. So, Mike, the quantities that we have, what is at stake here? These are last final end of the road quantities. Because here's what happened. The United States Mint identified the 480 boxes that they made, which were 240,000 coins. All right, those boxes have all been hunted down, purchased, and I'm pretty sure at least 460 of them have already been sent to all the grading companies. Wow.
This coin, there are no more of these to be made. There are no more of these to be had. Already wholesale prices on boxes are up 30, 40, 50, 60% as people are realizing just quite how rare this is. It's the second rarest Mint State regular issue silver eagle ever done by the United States government. The only one that's rarer was also a Philadelphia minted coin that without the mint mark, was just like this one, where the Philadelphia Mint helped out the West Point Mint in 2015. Now they made almost 100,000 coins instead of 240. And are you ready for this? And so that coin today, the 2015P in Mint State 70, you're looking at basically a $2,000 to $5,000 coin. And then you have this coin. And this coin, I think, in many ways is rarer and harder to get in Mint State 70. Now, people are saying, how did you get so many? Well, we spent literally millions of dollars, and I think we locked up or tried to lock up somewhere in the neighborhood of 40% of the entire production. We went out and bought every single solitary one of them we could get our hands on so that we can guarantee you this incredible struck at Philadelphia. Now, remember, 2020 Silver Eagles, just in and of themselves, given the fact that it's the end of an era, They are changing the design next year. Just any one of the regular 80 million American Silver Eagles from 2020 have become the most popular Silver Eagle collectible in the history of the American Silver Eagle from 1986 to date. Now we've got this microcosm, not 80 million coins, but 240,000 coins. And that's the amazing part about this. And the great part, while it's, 100 times rarer, 200 times rarer, 300 times rarer than the regular coins that are out there, that's significantly rarer than the regular coins. It's really only twice the price. Our regular 2020 coins are $99. We sell them by the thousands and thousands and thousands. Now, normally for the Mint State 70 coins from Philadelphia, this is a one-time only opportunity. Normally for the Mint State 70 coins, you're looking at a minimum of $299. The NGCs we're just about sold out of at $299. The Annex, we are sold out of the entire edition of 1,300 coins at $299. The PCGS coins, $329, and we're towards the end of the quantity there. Your opportunity to be able to own this coin is very, very, very much time limited. Now, here's the thing. I'm debuting this right here, right now. 901 in the edition. I suspect, we haven't put it up there yet, but I suspect, I'll bet you we've sold a third of the coins already.
Easily. And
we are quickly going towards half the coins sold. This is going to go incredibly quickly. This is the first and only primetime presentation that you are going to be able to get to have the opportunity to own this fantastic coin. Remember, you do get the Treasury letter with it.
Well, and hey, Mike, I know we're going to give everybody a couple of quantity updates, but here's the other situation that you need to be aware of. We are not limiting quantities. I know in a normal show that might sound like a crazy thing to say because it's like, well, how many, Instant Pots do I need, or how many computers do I need? But with coins, that's a whole nother ball of wax, especially when we're talking about a coin that checks all the boxes. Perfect, Mint State 70. It was already a big news story, the 2020, the numerology, I collect comic books, so I say last in series or last edition, last of the design, let alone the emergency issue, which is landmark in and of itself, so that checks all the boxes with the letter, but to get it on FlexPay at $66.65. And then, of course, we'll do delivery direct. By the way, we have had, Mike, as you know, when we did that random Tuesday primetime show, and we really did, I think we sold out of literally every emergency issue coin that was offered. And by the way, we had a lot more of them than we have in tonight's showcase. Even with regard to that, we had a lot of new faces because, that's when I got my coin, that's when I was shopping with you too. But what people don't realize is you could do FlexPay on multiples. So let's say you decide, okay, I want one for me, one is a legacy coin for my niece, for my nephew, for my dad. Father's Day around the corner, because I love that the letter kind of tells the story for you if it's somebody who doesn't watch HSN. But that's the other thing. In the world of coin collecting, this doesn't happen in any respect. And when I started the show by saying you do things, you set the gold standard, I mean, if we just took FlexPay, if we just took, the fact that we do returns, if you just took the fact that it's certified, that it's not the Wild West, that it's not a, gosh, I wish it were an emergency coin when it grew up, there's absolutely no reason for people to not try it, especially when you consider, and you say we have okay quantity, but with the couple hundred that we have remaining, we're in over 100 million homes. So when you say 500, 600 coins available, especially on FlexPay, that is not a lot to share with the bulk of America.
Yeah, and I, like I said, I would suspect we're well under 500 or 600 coins at this point. Because here's what the situation is: this coin is so eminently collectible, as you said, Shannon. It's timely in that way, and in the fact that it's representative. That's what coins do. They mark a time and a place, and to mark this time and place, and then to do so in such an incredibly rare fashion. In the fact that there's only 240,000 of these coins that were made at the Philadelphia Mint, that were the emergency production. They were helping out. They were doing desperately trying to keep up with the fact that there are 10 million, 20 million coins behind in terms of production. They're never going to catch up for the year. And then you have this little tiny sliver of literally the Philadelphia Mint doing everything in their power to just kind of chip in and help out. But then you add in that you get this coin certified perfect from one of the 4 major grading companies. You get the initial release that you see right here that's exclusive to me. Only 901 coins in the entire edition. We're already about half sold out of that. This is my initial presentation and clearly my only presentation. And if you're out there and have shopped, you realize this is the better part of $100 less than you have seen Mint State 70 coins. That's the amazing part of this. That's why it's this once in a lifetime, it's a once in a lifetime coin just by the fact that it's a 2020. But then you add in this tiny microcosm of the coins that are made at Philadelphia for this 12-day period. For 12 days, the Philadelphia Mint, which is already desperately trying to keep up with circulating coinage, because at the time the San Francisco Mint was shut down. The Denver Mint was limited. The West Point Mint was shut down. The Philadelphia Mint did everything they could and made basically 280 boxes of these coins. And that's what's happening. And they've been so phenomenally popular. They've been so incredibly collectible. And then to get it absolutely perfect Mint State 70. Remember, in coins, we grade on a 70-point scale. It's not a 100-point scale. The higher the grade, the more it's worth. So this coin is certified perfect. Mint State 70 is perfect. There's no Mint State 71 or 70.1, so it's perfect. It's the lowest priced Mint State 70 Philadelphia emergency mint coin that we have in the 4 major grading companies. And it is only for this special initial release that you see right here, this special initial release, and that's 300 that's sold in this presentation. We had already sold, I think, 200 before we even started. So that leaves us, I believe, under 400 coins in the entire edition. So this is going to be, I think, Shannon, one of our famous one and dones.
Oh, for sure. I'm having my Ed McMahon moment. You are correct, sir. They are telling me, Mike must be Karnak, because again, he does anticipate things that happen in the coin world before they actually happen. This was something that the world could not anticipate, most certainly. But with fewer than 400, now remember, that does not take into account whether people are getting more than one. And if history is, so fewer than 400, remember that does not take into consideration the manner in which people are shopping. I encourage you, load that phone on your app. That's how I get away with shopping while I'm on the air. Or call that full disclosure, or call that toll-free number. Join us at hsn.com. But remember, with our return policy, it's also not like the Wild West, and maybe that's why you've been trepidatious. Maybe you've always thought, oh gosh, you know, everybody collects something, like you say, Mike, and it could just as well be money. But this is the money, kind of like that, you know, Cuba Gooding line, you know, show me the money. This is as good as it gets. I mean, even for someone who is the most novice of collectors, would you say this might be a good place to put your toe in the water if they're thinking, where do I get started?
I think there's no doubt about it because it's such a timely, historic coin. First of all, you've got the 2020 issue being the end of the heraldic American Silver Eagle. So that's incredibly collectible from that standpoint. Keep in mind, by law, they can't change the design again for 25 years. So this is quite literally a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own this style of American Silver Eagle, period. Now, take this kind of second layer, third layer of collectability that it's because they had to shut down the West Point Mint and the Philadelphia Mint just kicked in and helped out as best they could. They have this tiny fraction of the production that was done at the Philadelphia Mint. Keep in mind, of course, that you simply cannot.
Oh my goodness. See, you know what? He's giving you such a good deal on coins. You know, he couldn't afford the phone service. So actually, you know, it's a live show. Well, we'll get Mike back with us via phone in just a moment. So a couple of, you know, what I call housekeeping issues here at HSN. If you are joining us, first of all, welcome. A lot of new faces have discovered us during this challenging time here in America at HSN. Mike Mizak, I defer to him, and we will get him back via phone in just a few moments. He is, and I would say arguably, America's America's foremost and most recognized coin expert. And I just say that because when it came to the state quarters, when it came to the national parks programs, I mean, Mike really sets the standard. Mike, you have returned. So I know you were kind of midstream.
Modern technology, you have to love it, right?
Exactly, right? We learned a lot about ourselves during this time. So Mike, sorry to digress. So I know we were midstream talking about the mechanics of the who, the what, the why this is such a fantastic opportunity. So I'll throw it back to you.
Well, and like I said, I mean, with the 2020, the 2020 Silver Eagle is collectible in and of its own right. But then you have this little tiny microcosm of what is already the most collectible eagle in the entire series. So you have to understand this Silver Eagle that they're going to make 60 or 70 or 80 million of has been on fire. It's been the most popularly collected Silver Eagle in the history of the United States Mint. And then all of a sudden, you have this tiny, tiny, tiny little subset of collectability and desirability with this special emergency production that is specifically unique to current events. And if we can look at the letter one more time, which remember your debt, we're going to send you the letter with this. And it just says, because of the coronavirus pandemic, the United States Mint has temporarily reduced production in some of its facilities to reduce the risk to its employees. But here's the key to this, is that between April the 8th and April the 20th, the United States Mint at Philadelphia produced 240,000 coins. That's it. That's the number. They gave us the box numbers, and the boxes are these boxes of 500 coins that are sealed at the Mint, and we have one right there that we had certified. So these coins, because they do not bear a Philadelphia Mint mark, because the last paragraph there tells you that, Silver Eagles, they try to make them homogeneous, if you will. In other words, you can't tell, so they have to be certified. So all 240,000 of these coins have to be certified, and there's the handwritten number that the United States Mint put on the box. That's box 400,261. So the Philadelphia Mint coins are 400,000 through 400,480. And so that's the only way to do it. That sealed box, and it had sealed tape on it when we have it, that's with a lead sealed tape, goes directly to the grading company, and that's the first thing they do is establish the provenance, that it's one of the Philadelphia Mint coins. Then they grade the coins, and they put them into the ultrasonically sealed holders to establish them for posterity. And then that's when they can only be sold to collectors. Now, what we have is the ICG product that we have right here. And so ICG is one of the four major grading companies. It's got PCG, SNGC, ICG, and Annex. All the other coins were basically $2.99 and above. This is a one-time opportunity, this one-time release, because what happened when this first came out, a lot of people were going, well, I don't know. A lot of dealers were like, I don't know. And we're like, give me all you have. We'll take every single solitary box. We spent literally millions of dollars to get so that we could get every single possible coin in the marketplace. And that's exactly how it's worked out.
Well, Mike, at this point, and I know you can see what's going on graphically, we have a clock on your screen. If you are new to HSN, we are saying ballpark, 90 seconds or sell out. Now, I say that with a degree of caution because, Mike, as you know, you sold hundreds of this coin before you were even on the air. You have, I would say, as many, if not more shoppers after the fact than we do during the show. But the problem with the quantities remaining, now we are now almost more than halfway spoken for, is you run the risk of not getting it at all. Now, remember, the onus is on us. So as long as you've secured that order, you've got it. If you wait, especially with this coin and a couple of, several others that we have coming up during this special 2-hour primetime showcase, you really do run a serious risk of not getting it at all. In fact, two of the coins that I bought with you when we did that surprise Tuesday night primetime show, I can tell you for a fact, because I went to hsn.com after we got off the air. No wait. It was just sold out.
There's no wait list on any of this.
No.
And when you saw that sold counter there of over 500, that's what's been sold during the show, okay? So of the 900 edition, I think a more accurate representation is how many we have left.
True.
Which I'm assuming at this point we are under 200 coins remaining in the entire edition. That is the crucial number. Because once that initial release, 901 coins, the Annex coins, 1,340 coins sold out. This one, 901 coins. It will sell out, like I said, one and done. We are going to show this right here, right now, one time, one airing, all 900 coins will be gone. And that's exactly where we're at. I suspect with everybody on the phone, you really, 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 really need, if you want a perfect emergency issue Philadelphia minted ICG Silver Eagle, or just a perfect struck at Philadelphia emergency production eagle, you absolutely must be on the phone right now.
You need to. In fact, one of the reasons you haven't seen the quantity left is I wish that our producer knows, if you see the quantity left, you might think, oh, I got time, I'll write down the item number, you know, and because listen, I do it too. I write there, I've got little Post-it notes all over my kitchen. But the problem with that, it's live television, the quantity left does not factor in the people who are placing their order in the various forms. Now, the other caveat to that is, a good portion of the people who have placed orders on these emergency issue coins, let alone the ones that are perfect, and at this price, this doesn't happen, are getting more than one. So use that information for what you will, but I will say this, again, you've always got a money back guarantee. You don't have to think, well, if I get the coin in home and I decide, I mean, you can always make that decision after the fact. But Mike, like you said, the government frowns on you mass producing these, so there is no wait list.
There's no wait list. Yeah, I would not rock the orange jumpsuit. So we got to stick with the coins that the government makes.
Well, hey, they say orange is the new black.